really a pleasure to welcome our Honorable Minister for Human Resource Development, Ms. Smriti Irani. Madam, these are our students. So they are really the most brilliant students of the nation. They have gone through some very tough admission criteria, whether they're at the undergraduate level or the postgraduate level. And in fact, we have now emerged, the institute has emerged as the top choice for students. Just to give one example, about 60% of the top 100 rankers end up over here. I just want to say that over here among them are both undergraduate students and postgraduate students. We are now about 1:1 in numbers of postgraduate and undergraduate students. They all study very hard, but there is a lot of extracurricular activities as well, both on the technical front and on the cultural front. Many clubs which encourage students to develop their talents in different areas. You will recall I told you about one of the major projects that the students, or one team of students did, which was this project Shunya, in which they built a house here, dismantled it, shipped it to Paris, set it up there, and this is a solar powered house entirely designed and built by students. So I think this shows their capabilities. I think any Team Shunya members here? Okay, a few of them are here, so they got an honorable mention in the competition, but I think that it was a tremendous experience and it showed their capabilities as well. Another point that I'd like to make is last evening the Prime Minister said that the youth should be job creators, and at the institute we do have this culture of entrepreneurship, and many of our students are in fact going out to start their own companies and creating jobs. We have a club called the E-Cell. Anybody from E-Cell here? So the E-Cell is very active. They help students understand what is entrepreneurship, how to start a business, and so forth. And from what I understand, there are about 100 new companies which are in the neighborhood of IIT Bombay. So this is becoming like a startup hub. And out of these 100 companies, about 50 are by students from IIT Bombay. Students are capable, they're enthusiastic, and they're keen to work on challenges of the nation. And the institute is trying to develop channels to expose them to some of the important problems. And I hope that when they go out, they will make major contributions, as the seniors have been doing over the years. So with that as a brief introduction, I hand over to
It was that we asked the students to submit questions, and then we have basically, identified some areas in which they would like to speak to. No, that's exactly what I did.
You want censored or uncensored?
Uncensored. So would you like to?
So this is your chance to fry the minister. I have never seen Devang read out ever. Not that I've known him forever. But in the past 4 months, I have never seen your director read out from any piece of paper. It is only the students of IIT Bombay that can put so much pressure on the director. And at HRM, there is always this whole courtesy issue, where people come absolutely prim and proper and say madam to you. I'm sure it's revolting to a lot of people who feel that, oh, she doesn't have as much brains as I do. But I have never seen students or anybody ever meet me in shorts. So my compliments to all the gentlemen who are chilled out enough, not bothered enough to come as they were. Not in the literal sense, but I don't like things which are censored. And I think that this is a great opportunity for me to learn. I've never been in the top 60 of anything. I've always been in the bottom 30. Except when it comes to crying on TV screens. That So whatever you ask me, please be kind. Because there are a lot of cameras rolling. And I don't want another YouTube video of mine. I think AIB must be having some clip of mine. Not that I'm going to tell Devang what AIB is all about. So, I beg your indulgence vis-a-vis your discretion. Whatever you want to ask me, please go ahead and ask me. I know it's going to be your professor's nightmare when he thinks that he had this list of questionnaires prepared, and we're going to tear that list up. And feel free. Who wants to take the first shot? Did somebody just give you this one piece of paper to ask me something other than because you're the general secretary?
No, ma'am, it's nothing like that.
Are you absolutely sure? Because I might not have gone to an IIT, but I can definitely see how So without any pressure, don't feel any pressure. Not from me, not from, don't look at Devang. You just go shoot, tell me.
Now
Don't look at that paper also.
So, first of all, I'd like to welcome you on behalf of all the students of IIT Bombay.
See, that's the paper.
Okay, so, ma'am, I'm going to ask you the most burning question in mind of all the postgraduate students of India. On 12th of August 2014, a student delegation met you in your office at New Delhi. This is regarding, yeah,
Fellowship.
right.
Well, you know what the problem is? That they came to the wrong ministry. That was the Department of Science and Technology. So I forwarded that to the Department of Science and Technology. I received the students because they were students, and as HRD Minister, it is my responsibility that when a student tries to reach out, I respond. But unfortunately, governance is a matter of compartmentalizing responsibility, and that responsibility falls in the realm of another ministry. Nonetheless, I have pursued it. And I'm sure you're aware that there are financial challenges that we received as legacy in this government. We are trying to sort out that issue. But since that was not my domain, there are many initiatives I have undertaken under AICTE, under UGC to ensure that we fund more MTechs and PhDs. We have done that. That information will be available on the MHRD website. We are refurbishing that website so it comes up. Apart from science and technology, we saw a dip in research in social sciences. So we awarded some new fellowships for social sciences as well. So within the realm of my responsibility, I'm doing the best that I can, given the coffers which are a bit limited. But I'm doing the best I can.
Thank you, ma'am. That is what we are expecting from you. We just need your special attention to this matter. We have been in touch with Dr. Jitendra Singh and we are getting updates.
Yes.
But we just want you to also give
Yes, I'm
attention.
pushing.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm very intrigued, sir. Who broke your hand?
So no, I'm part of the students also.
No, I'm intrigued about the hand.
Hand, well, why it fell off aside.
Okay, my best wishes. Get well soon, sir. Yes, who goes?
So, ma'am, there is one more issue.
Yes.
This is regarding PhD students paying tuition fees after first year of PhD. Ma'am, after first year of PhD, they don't do any kind of coursework. Rather, they are doing a tutoring work for students, junior students, UGs, MTechs, and still they have been asked to pay tuition fees. On behalf of PhD students, this feels somewhat unfair.
Well, that's not fair, but what I can do is, if you can give me some kind of a written plan as to what kind of a solution we can come to, I'm going to Delhi tomorrow. I'll take that with me and I'll discuss it within my department. I'm not in the habit of making false promises, so I'll not give you one of the very sarkari or political things that sab theek ho jayega. I have to study it. I'll take it back with me, study it. Whatever is possible, we'll do. That much I can assure you.
Thank you,
There
ma'am.
was a lady here who raised a hand. Yes. After that, you. Yes. You're loud enough, I think, to hear.
Yeah, finishing graduate from Chemical Engineering Department. Yeah, I recently received a scholarship name, which is SCRB scholarships, which government is releasing for postdoctoral fellowship. The deadline seems to be very imaginary. It was released on September 15, and we need to get our host institute as well as the institution letter within 30th September. So, I mean, I was really happy that, India has introduced a new postdoctoral scholarship, wherein if you see other countries, there are a lot of scholarships. Even a small country has 5-6 scholarships. So, okay, you might ask me, why do I want to go abroad? If I want to be a faculty in any of the IITs, I mean, IIT Gandhinagar, they say, no, you just have to go do a postdoc and then come back, we'll take you. So, I think we need to, I mean, the deadline, if you can give, more than 50.
May I know your name?
Vibha.
Vibha, can you do me a favor?
Yes, ma'am.
Apart from this whole issue of the deadline, I don't know why somebody feels that you have to go overseas to get hired by an IIT.
I have applied in Gandhinagar, everywhere they say that,
I have no clue. I mean, if you're all good enough to study here, then you should be good enough to be hired back here. So I don't know why you should be told to go outside, get some stamp from outside and come back here and be hired. No clue, but I will look into that aspect also. But Vibha, apart from the deadline challenge that you articulate, if you can just highlight to me, what are the other scholarships we can start?
I mean, we need
Write and give it to me.
Yeah.
Other scholarships that we can start. Talk to your fellow students, not only within this institute. Is there a network of students across all IITs? Talk to your fellow students across all IITs. Propose 5 scholarships. Let the IIT students family propose 5 scholarships that will help our students go further. Propose that and give it to me. By when will you give it to me? I'll action it as soon as possible. With all the guidelines that students propose, though that might not be the final word. What we will do is take it back to our departments, and all the fellows with the big bags of money in Ministry of Finance will then tell us what to do with it. But on behalf of the students, propose 5 scholarships. Don't restrain yourself to engineering or science and technology only. Try and talk to students as much as possible from various fields. Propose 5 scholarships. I propose that in the first time in Indian history, we will have 5 scholarships that the students of this country will propose. So make an ecosystem across all IIT, IIMs, and get back to me. And when will you do that, Vibha?
Probably in a week's time.
You will speak
too long?
Will you speak to students across all central universities, all IIMs in this country?
Probably
all
IITs
colleges,
I
let-
can do, but
No, I'm saying that who will help her in this? You all will. So formulate an ecosystem where students from various colleges, universities can come together. Propose 5 scholarships for this nation. Students from all across, not only IITs, get together, form a group, and can you do this in 2 months? So that in the next year we announce something. With January we go ahead with something. Possible? So that by the next academic year, students in this country will bless students like Vibha for proposing something great. Correct? Doable? Done. Yes. Yes. That gentleman. I'm sure I can hear you.
Yeah.
I can. Tell me.
First of all, I want to clear to Honorable Director and Dean that I am not complaining about IIT Bombay administration.
Wait, is your name Krishna?
No, my name is Lakshminarayan.
Okay. Why I'm saying this, there is a guy called G. Krishna who's an MTech. Everybody has my email ID, which is on the government website. This guy got my personal email ID. And he wrote me a similar mail. And the tagline was that I am not complaining against. So you sounded a bit familiar. Yes. So my compliments wherever this guy is, if you can spread the word, his name is some Krishna, MTech. My compliments for hunting me down. Yeah.
Regarding getting permission to fly with non-Air India flight. Say, I'm a PhD student. Recently, I got an opportunity to attend a conference at Mexico. But with Air India, there is a provision that we have to fly through Air India, right? But
We all do.
The thing is, we need to take permission from Civil Aviation Ministry officer. Then we have to wait for 5 days. Then again send another reminder to you. If you don't get that reply, again we have to apply to the assistant deputy director. This whole process takes 2 weeks. So there is an administrative lag. Personally, I think this is a silly thing because of this 2 weeks, I have to abort my plan to attend the conference. So as a you are a MHRD ministry, can you help us
Yes.
this, because you can rest the powers with the director or deputy director to take you the
Send it to me in writing.
Yeah.
Because everything in government gets processed after there's something in a written format. How many such students have suffered because of this lag? Well, Professor wants me to ask faculty. We did the faculty meeting in another auditorium. You missed it. But what I would like you to do is get everybody's signatures on what all they lost out on because of this silliness, as you call it. We call it red tape. So make that petition for me and send it to me. There might be some provisions, I'm being very honest, from a security perspective or from a finance perspective, that the Ministry of Civil Aviation has to possibly do this 2-week-long up and down silliness, as you call it. If there is no such constraint, then I don't see why there should be a problem in fixing this problem. If there is, I will communicate to you very clearly that this is a problem. Is that acceptable?
Ma'am, can I add to this?
Yes.
Ma'am, actually the problem is not sending the email. The problem is not
Receiving
getting
a response.
Yeah. So we have to again and again send the email and we are not getting the response, and again following up with the deputy director. So if we can appoint someone other than joint secretary level, so right now the person is joint secretary. So if we can appoint someone who is responsible for this task, maybe up to a clerical post, who can actually respond to this, can get the approval from the
So
joint
since
secretary.
this is the IIT, can you give me an e-enabling provision which will, let's say, send me an alert on the HRM's website or my own account that this student here is not getting it? That's homework. Can you give me some kind of a software which gives us an alert that this request has not been adhered to in the past 5 days?
Any CSE students here?
Security will be a problem, ma'am.
Possible, who will work on this solution?
There is a web and coding club of the student activity.
Yes, hello.
So we have a club which is working on.
Why do you look so lost? So can you get together and find us an e-solution which links us to all our IITs and such pending requests, links the MHRD and the Ministry of Civil Aviation till such time that we find a solution, so that no student or no member of the faculty misses an opportunity overseas. Till such time, give us a e-enabler which helps us track these requests.
And can I propose a solution?
Yes. Is
If
it
I'm
written?
not-
Yes. Tell me.
Okay. So if I'm not asking for more, then can
It's
we
not
have
begun yet. Yes.
Can we have a student representative from IIT who can contact you once in 6 months for who can take forward all the issues that students want to suggest to MHRD? We'll personally meet you.
So what we are doing on the MHRD website is a plugin called Opportunities Manager. Now what Opportunity Manager does is that if students have a great idea about education, and I'm not saying that only IIT Bombay, students across the country or any citizen across the country has a great idea about education, they send us their ideas, we give them mentors. We've spoken to people like Azim Premji and sounded off Cyrus Mistry and said we need some mentors, even people like Sunil Alad, people in the management sphere. They will help mentor those ideas and fructify them. So we've created that ecosystem of ideas per se. I have spoken as the IIT Council chairperson for the need to have a very, very strong web platform for the IIT family. I think, Devang, we could do well with having a students component on it, where they can speak for everybody. And I'm sure that sometimes you will highlight problems with regards to your institution and somebody in Kharagpur will say, oh, I have the same problem. So maybe we can create an ecosystem on the IIT Council website where the entire IIT faculty and students body can voice their problems, and I as the chairperson of the IIT Council will have constant access to that. We can do that. Okay, lots of...
79 seats vacant in all the IITs in total. And at the same time, around 4 to 5% children in our country don't go to school at all.
Yes.
Around 60% cannot complete primary education, don't complete primary education, and around 85% don't complete school at all. And there are other stats which states that 56%,
There are lots of stats, yes.
56% 5th grade student cannot do 3rd grade maths. So like it's
No, that's wrong. The learning outcomes of grade 6 to 8 is 30% for maths and science. That's a wrong stat.
But I
And
did
yeah,
want to see surveys that
everything
these are
you
the
read
stats.
is not the gospel truth. Also, I mean, if you can just come to the main concern,
Yeah,
otherwise
the main
you and I
concern
will
is-
keep doing stat.
I just mentioned very few stats. There are a lot number of stats.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I can put stats as well all day long.
I know. That much I could make out from your personality, trust me. Get to the
My question
point.
is, what is your rationale behind announcing 5 more IDs when a large chunk of intelligent people have signed a petition against it?
Okay. The idea is that every time there's a petition, that need not necessarily mean that that is a petition that one needs to address. One has to, this is a democracy where everybody can have a point of view. This is also a democracy where somebody sitting in some tribal area is saying, what have I done wrong that I need to go to Bombay or Kharagpur or Delhi? Why can't I have an institution of higher learning like an IIT in my own home state?
Look, there are seats written.
I'm not going stat, I'm still giving my answer.
But
So
you
there
have
are
to
two
analyze things,
issues.
right?
There are two issues. I mean, unless you are Arnab Goswami and won't let me speak. One is the challenge where children in our country and most of students are saying that if you're using the taxpayers' money to subsidize education, why do an elite few get to decide where that education will be available, which is absolutely true. So there are 2-3 issues that we confront as government, which at least I have seen. You see, girls do remarkably well in their board exams, beat boys in many states, in fact all of them. But then the transition of girls to technical education is a mere, even within the IITs, is a mere 22%. So the question that comes out is, if they're doing so well in the board exams, where are they going? Why are they not coming into the institutes of higher learning? Where they are going is to very basic education or just falling out of the education cycle altogether. Why? Because parents feel that it's smarter to invest in a boy's education. So what do? We also provide them opportunity. Why do parents deny the girl the opportunity? A, because they feel that the boy will be a better return. B, they feel that the institution per se is too far for that girl to go and get educated in. So what do? We provide for more and more hubs of education at the cost of the government of India so that people have easy access. At the same time, we are trying to provide a transitional support to students who come from very, very poor backgrounds. I mean, stats, 55% of students from the tribal area drop out between the grade 5 and 8 category, which is 55% of children who already come from a weaker segment. Why do they drop out? Because it takes too much money to go to that school or college. So when their parents feel that you can barely read and write, that's good enough. Because their din ka dihadi is 30 bucks. So they would rather save that 30 bucks, earn 30 bucks more or 100 bucks more and live. So one is to provide easy access to the transitional support that I talk about. We are doing it through CBSE. For the first time, we track students who are meritorious, 85% and above, whose parents earn less than 50,000 bucks a year. And we found 1,500 such students. And when we invited them to Delhi, most of them said, we don't have money to come to Delhi. We provided them money to come to Delhi. Some of them spoke to me and said, ma'am, I have just barely managed to scrape an entry into a college. If I don't come today, the principal says, irrespective of who calls you to Delhi, I'll chuck you out. This is serious. These are kids who can't afford to go to a college. They're trying very hard to get an education. So why open it up everywhere? Is to enable people access. Are we diluting the standards of education? No. Devang is witness to it. every IIT will be handheld by another IIT of repute, so that no new institution comes out or comes up without that academic experience and support. So this is not mushrooming of IITs without a strategy, without thought. The IIT Council and the IIT family has resolved that every institute will come out with support from all IIT directors and chairmen and scientists and academia in this country. So another enabling device, we saw that 200 students got left out of their IIT dreams. Why? Because of the percentile system. We said that if you are good enough to get a distinction in your boards and get 75% and above, and you passed your entrance exam, you are fit, you can come in and live your IIT dream. So we are doing everything we can to provide greater access to education. And yes, you might have a very strong petition and a voice against something that we are doing. This is a democracy. Everybody has a right to speak. But my constitutional responsibility is to look out for those who can't afford to look out for themselves. Yes? Yeah. So I have legacy issues which I do not deny. I do accept that my predecessors had this challenge, or maybe they created the challenge, that buildings took forever to make, especially in a world where China is building buildings in 100 hours. Yes, I do accept that. But does that mean that the follies of the past will impede the growth for the future? As Kennedy has rightly said, I'm not here to fix a blame for the past, I'm here to fix a course for the future. So while we are looking at issues, positions need to be filled. One of the things that I saw when I came into office was that most faculty was not moving because there was a challenge vis-a-vis their pension. There was a pension portability challenge. And while you're all looking out for your interest, faculty members thinking, well, if I go from this area to that, I lose my pension benefits. So what did we do? We enabled that. I signed off something called the pension portability, which now makes transition of faculty across this entire family and this ecosystem as painless as possible. So we are doing things to course correct, and we are also looking at various issues wherein we can help build the infrastructure quicker. But do appreciate that is a legacy that I have received. My legacy which I leave is initiatives like Swayam, which have been expedited. Professor Pathak can tell you that he's had sleepless nights ever since I became HRM. And they're working at a breakneck speed. And we're also aware. The problem was that when previously, if a state government said that we are setting up an IIT, then the IIT would be announced, but the land denoted for that IIT was not given in a time-bound fashion. This time what we are saying is that give us the land, we begin. That's a huge difference from an administrative point of view. So we are trying to course correct and fix all the challenges of the past, but that should not stop us from growing for the future. Yes?
Department of Chemistry. So almost all the PhD students are doing teaching assistantship throughout their tenure.
Yes.
So some of them are doing for 2 years, and some of them are doing for full their PhD 5 years. So, and it is written clearly in the norms that this teaching experience will not be counted anywhere while you are applying somewhere for some universities. So is it possible to give us a teaching experience certificate that we have done this so far here?
Done.
A training program for a Balwadi, Anganwadi teachers and DED and B.Ed who teach at the school levels. But here the researchers come here as a faculty, but I don't think so that they have a kind of teaching, training kind of stuff. So there should be some kind of, as a teacher and as a guide, like there should be some guidelines and some training programs for them. And second question is
Guidelines
for the professors who come after their PhD.
How to teach?
Means they do have a research experience. They do have a research experience, but being as a professor, being as a teacher, or being as a guide needs a different kind of training. Is what I feel.
Madan Mohan Malviya Teachers Training Project, and during one of our meetings, again within the IITs, we had this component of an academy of technical educators, so we can look at that aspect as well. And the Swayam platform today morning, I told Professor Pathak, should have a component of teachers training as well, which will be then counted for your career further, so that people don't feel that, oh, I'm just training and doing this and it doesn't have an impact on my career. So this suggestion is very well taken. I've asked Devang to weave it into the Swayam platform, but I think the IITs can also look at this.
And just a second question regarding like improvement
Yeah,
of the
two.
government
Yeah.
institutes and government, schools and colleges.
Yes.
Like there are many number of new investments happening in education sector in terms of IT and other stuff. But like why don't we have a kind of a quality stuff in the government only? Like generally the bias is like that. Are government is nahi jana chahiye. Like it's a government school, then there is no good education. When this bias is going to change?
You have a prime minister who studied in a government school. You have an HR
Even myself,
who
yeah.
studied in a tent wala school. So I think that what you have hit upon is a very, very important thing. It's strange that the exact words came out of the mouth of Azim Premji, who said that we need to brand build our education system which are in the government's domain. You'll be happy to note that there are 5 top schools of this country which were independently assessed by a third party, not government, not by any promoters. And it was found that the top 3 schools were Kendriya Vidyalayas run by Government of India, central government. One of them is in your own campus. Now, how has that happened? That has happened because your own professors go to that Kendriya Vidyalaya and also teach. So the standard of education imparted in those institutions has gone up because of that. So what we are trying to do is, I've created a platform called GYAN, which is the Global Initiative for Academic Networks. We have asked experts, scholars, researchers, professors from world over to come over and take some semesters here, not only train our students but also our teachers. Currently, GYAN is going to be limited to only the IITs and the higher educational institutions. Your idea is nice enough for us to percolate it down to even the school system. But I think that a different component of GYAN Devang can be explored, where our own professors and teachers can go down to school level and teach. Great idea. Thank you.
And one question,
Yeah,
like engineering, we can talk very good stuff about that. But the sensitive in terms of it's like it needs some kind of a special.
I agree with you. This gentleman, and I forget his name, last name is Deshpande in IISER Pune. What he did was, he made a group of students come together and train children in the slums around his institute so that they could sit for the competitive exam of IISER. And the end result was, in the first try itself, one student actually successfully entered IISER Pune. So I agree with you that we need enabling factors, especially to change mindsets. Through the NCERT, we started this year the gender sensitization and gender inclusion project for the next 1 year. But that cannot be just a 1-year campaign. It has to be a continuous effort. I've spoken to all the central universities and said that the Women's Study Center in all universities need to be strengthened. We have enabling cells where we are trying to provide as much as support as possible through teaching and learning aids. The biggest challenge is that our infrastructure does not permit access, especially those who are physically challenged. I had the brief privilege of drafting the first ever vision statement for those who are physically challenged called Saksham when I was the Women's Wing President of the BJP. And that was accepted at various international fora. So I'm completely aware of the challenges that you speak of. But through my efforts, I'm trying to bring about as much sensitization in the school system, which is government domain, and the college system, which is government domain. I can only appeal to the private sector to do the same. So we've begun that process. You'll be happy to know for 25 lakh physically challenged children in this country through NCERT, we just took out curricular adaptation methods for all teachers and we are training them to do that. So we are slowly working at it. The challenges are aplenty. And we are applying our minds, especially all of us at MHRD, to basically ensure that whatever we have currently within our systems can be strengthened to deliver better results. Yes.
Center called Center for Technology Alternatives in Rural Areas. But
is it hot or is it the questions you ask me? Okay, yes.
So this Sitara, like, the department is working very hard, but we don't have sufficient infrastructure. And this is something shameful for an institute having national excellence. Our teachers sit in different departments, and when we want to meet them, then we have to go all around in some computer department, then mechanical.
So you rather have them centralized in one area?
We don't have our own constructed building. So this is, and that
Yeah, I think this is a common problem for many of the departments which are newly started, and I think even we are. No, I did not.
So it's only in IIT you can ask for water and get maza instead. So your director knows that this challenge is to be addressed. But there is all students need to please appreciate one fact, that the director is also working against a lot of odds vis-a-vis fund crunch. So I'm sure that when he sees where he can balance all the needs and kind of, yeah.
We are building, and I think that will be a long meeting.
And I think now he will not forget to accommodate what you have just said. So
we are suffering, man. We are suffering. And I don't think in like these 2 years it will happen.
Support for your director, so a huge round of applause for him. May I know your name, sir? Rahul. See, the solutions can only be found when faculty, administration and students work in a cohesive fashion. Devang is here trying to do a job and do it well to the best of his abilities. He is the IIT director, but he is not Superman. So, if there are certain solutions that you can forward, do that. Be rest assured that we do have best intentions. We work within limitations. And he has assured me, I said, even if you can't build a new building, within a given limited workspace, can we have some kind of a timetable for students' interaction, possibly? Then you know who to find where, when, and are not walking around all around this beautiful campus, though I would love to, and I'm sure I'll lose some weight. But maybe we can do that. So till such time the funds crunch cannot be met, at least this management capacity can be woven in. But I think that if we can do that, I apologize on behalf of the students, Devang. If you feel that you are in any kind of an uncomfortable position in front of the minister, I don't think the student's intention is that. I think the student thought that, okay, here comes the minister, let me say it and let's see what if something else comes.
Structure.
Yeah.
I'm a PhD student from Bioscience and Bioengineering department, and we pay 33,000 per semester, which include tuition fees and which include hostel rent. And we have not been given any HRA. We only get 16,000 without HRA. So being in hostel without getting HRA and still we are paying house rent. What is that? Like it includes all the. My question is why such thing? And one more thing, UGC people get HRA, but CSIR don't get any HRA. So why such biasness? And UGC also gave only part of the HRA. And even
and annual contingency
I'm
grant.
sure you do appreciate that education within the IT system is subsidized?
Yes.
Mehta.
Yes.
Gujarati ko?
Yes.
Okay.
So reservation is a very big problem today. So what will be your government step towards reservation?
Is to uphold. My answer is extremely direct. Is to uphold affirmative action.